Hello friends, it's me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to our channel where we hear interesting stories of our saints. Today, we're going to learn about a very special saint whose feast day is on February 7th. His name is Saint Richard the Pilgrim. His story is a wonderful adventure about faith, family, and trusting God on a long journey. Have you ever wondered what it means to be a pilgrim? A pilgrim is someone who travels to a holy place as a special prayer to God. Saint Richard was one of these travelers, and he wasn't just any saint. He was the father of 3 other saints. His life teaches us that being holy doesn't always mean doing big, flashy things. Sometimes it just means walking faithfully with God, one step at a time, every single day. So are you ready to hear the story of this quiet but important saint? Let's begin. Not much is known about the very early life of Saint Richard. He lived a long time ago in a place called Wessex, which is in modern-day England. Some stories say he might have been a king or a nobleman, which is why he's sometimes called Richard the King. Others think he was a respected landowner. But what we know for sure is that he was a family man. Saint Richard was married to a wonderful woman named Juana, who was also considered a saint. Together they had a beautiful family and raised their children in the Christian faith. They were a very close family, and Richard and Juana taught their children to love God and to trust Him in everything they did. This strong faith, learned right at home, would shape the incredible lives their children would later lead. Richard's early years seem to have been simple and faithful. He wasn't famous, and he didn't travel the world seeking adventure. Instead, he built a strong foundation of love and faith right in his own home. This shows us that even in quiet, ordinary beginnings, God can prepare us for great things. Holiness often starts right at home, in the love we share with our family. Later in his life, Richard felt a calling in his heart. He decided to make a pilgrimage, a very long and difficult journey on foot, all the way to the holy city of Rome. People went on pilgrimages to grow closer to God, to pray for something special, or to show their deep love and devotion. It was a huge act of faith. Richard didn't go alone. He took 2 of his sons with him, Willibald and Wunibald. His daughter Walburga stayed behind in England. The journey from England to Italy was not easy at all. Imagine walking for weeks and weeks. They had to cross mountains and rivers, facing dangers like bad weather, sickness, and rough roads. There were no cars or airplanes back then, just their own 2 feet and their trust in God. Throughout this challenging journey, Richard showed great faith. He was a living example to his sons of what it means to put your trust in God, no matter what happens. Sadly, Richard did not finish the pilgrimage. Along the way, in a town in Italy called Lucca, he became very sick and passed away. Even though he never reached his final destination of Rome, his journey was not a failure. The journey itself, filled with faith and courage, was what made him a saint. After he passed away, the people of Lucca recognized his holiness. They saw the great faith of this man who had traveled so far. His burial place in the church of St. Frediano in Lucca became a special site, a place where other pilgrims would stop to pray on their own journeys. Now let's talk about his amazing family. Richard's strong faith didn't end with him. It blossomed in his children. They carried on his legacy in incredible ways. His son Willibald, who had traveled with him, grew up to become a bishop and a missionary. He helped spread the good news of Jesus all across Germany. He was brave and dedicated, just like his father. Richard's other son, Wunibald, also became a missionary and started a monastery. A monastery is a special place where people dedicate their lives to prayer and serving God. Through his work, Wunibald helped teach many people about God's love. And what about his daughter Walburga, who had stayed behind? She became a nun, and later an abbess, which is the head of a community of nuns. She was known far and wide for her great kindness and the miracles that happened through her prayers. She, too, became a great saint. Isn't that incredible? A family full of saints? The seeds of faith that Richard and his wife Juana planted in their children grew into mighty trees. Their family story reminds us that parents have a very special and important job. Teaching children about God and showing them how to live a life of faith can truly change the world, one life at a time. Richard's love for his family had an impact that echoed for generations. So how did Richard become known as a saint? After his death in Lucca, people immediately began to honor him. His tomb became a holy place where pilgrims would pray, asking for his intercession. In the early days of the church, there wasn't a formal process for declaring saints like there is today. Often a person was recognized as a saint by the local people and church leaders because of their holy life and the miracles associated with them. This is how Saint Richard came to be honored. Today, Saint Richard the Pilgrim is the patron saint of pilgrims. That means people who are going on journeys, especially holy ones, ask for his prayers and protection. He's the perfect saint to ask for help when you're on a trip or even just on your life's journey. He is remembered as a simple man of deep faith who trusted God so much that he was willing to leave everything he knew behind. His life shows us that holiness isn't about being perfect or powerful. It's about love, trust, and the courage to follow where God leads, even when the path is difficult. Saint Richard's memory lives on through his amazing children, through the pilgrims who remember him, and through all of us who are on our own journey of faith. So what can we learn from Saint Richard as we live our own lives today? His story is a powerful reminder that our life is like a pilgrimage. We are all walking on a journey toward God. We might not be traveling to Rome on foot, but every day we face our own challenges, our own mountains to climb, and our own choices to make. Saint Richard teaches us that we don't need to have everything figured out. We don't need a perfect map for our lives. We just need to trust that God is walking with us, leading us step by step. When you feel worried or unsure about what's next, remember Saint Richard. He stepped out in faith, not knowing he wouldn't finish his journey, but he trusted God's plan all the same. His story also shows us just how important our example is. Richard didn't just tell his children to love God, he showed them how. The way you treat your family, your friends, and even strangers can be a powerful witness to God's love. Your small acts of kindness and faith can inspire others more than you'll ever know. Finally, Saint Richard's life teaches us that the journey itself is what matters most. Even if we don't reach every goal we set for ourselves, walking with God along the way is the true victory. Being faithful in the small, everyday steps is just as beautiful and important as reaching a big destination. So, what small step of faith can you take today? How can you show your family and friends what it looks like to trust God? Are you willing to follow God even when the road ahead seems a little hard or unclear? Saint Richard the Pilgrim lived a life that points us to trust and courage. He didn't seek fame or fortune, simply wanted to walk with God and bring his children closer to him. His choice to leave the comfort of his home for a difficult journey shows a heart full of faith and love. His life reminds us that every step we take with God is important. Even when we stumble or when things don't go as planned, God is still with us, guiding us and loving us. The faith Richard passed on to his children helped spread the good news far and wide. His simple life shows that small acts of trust can have a huge ripple effect on the world. So when we remember Saint Richard, let's also remember to be pilgrims ourselves, always walking toward God, trusting him with every step one day at a time. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn about the incredible life of Saint Richard the Pilgrim. I hope his story inspires you to be brave on your own journey of faith. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more stories about the saints. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Saint Richard the Pilgrim, pray for us. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy as usual. See you next time, and God bless you always.